Alright guys, welcome back to Urge. Going to be starting a little new series here for Dungeons & Dragons. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the world and the campaign setting that I created, hopefully to give you guys some ideas, and also it's just fun for DMs and stuff to talk about their campaign settings, and hopefully maybe I'll inspire you, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below about your campaign settings as well. Alright, in this first video I'm just going to be talking about the world that the campaign setting is taking place in, and then later on maybe talking about some lore and some history and how things kind of turned out to where they are into the present day where the campaign is set now. So the world is called Tehr'Ental, and it's basically a Pangea. It's a supercontinent, and it is broken up into 4 major regions. Now each of these regions is based in an elemental plane, and the reason for that I'll go into when we get into the lore side of my campaign setting. So the northern region is going to be based in the plane of water, and it's kind of broken off from the mainland. It's just a bunch of scattered islands surrounded by water. It's very snowy and cold. It's kind of like if you think of like an Alaska in the winter, kind of Eskimo-y kind of place, that's kind of what the northern region is like. The north is essentially like a fur trade, lots of fishing, lots of leather working, high in the fur trade region. To the east is the Earth Elemental Plane region. This region is full of luscious landscapes, vibrant green plant life, rolling hills, smaller mountains, things just beautiful landscapes, farming, crops. This is like the main agricultural region. Then to the south, it's influenced by the plane of fire. So it's a hot desert, very arid, dry. This region is more mining, hard ores. It's a very barbaric, almost like area. It's ruled a little bit differently than some of these other regions are, but we'll get into that later. It's almost like a Wild West kind of area. It's kind of free reign, you know, it's kind of barbaric. People kind of do what they want. There's some kind of rule of law, but it's a little bit more up in the air. It's just kind of it's a very tough life. To even live in the southern region, you have to be tough. You're just not going to make it out in the desert with all these free reign crime and social interactions that are just based primarily on strength and intimidation. And then lastly we have the western region, which if you haven't guessed is based on the airplane. This place is the center for wisdom and knowledge and learning and arcane. The landscape is huge, stretching to the skies, mountains, incredibly high, like up in the clouds. It just feels like you're in the air, and there are actually floating islands around as well in the western region. The western region is also home of the oldest standing city in the world of Tehr'Ental. That's why there's a lot of focus on arcane magic, on learning and knowledge, just because this city has protected as much as they could of our history, and they take great pride in their academies and learning facilities. And then lastly, in the center of Tehr'Ental, in this Pangea, this supercontinent, is a mixture of all, because it's every region kind of gradually, the outskirts of the regions are the most influenced by the elemental planes, and as you get closer to the center it kind of fades. So right directly in the center, in the heart of Tehr'Ental, is the major capital city, and I'll go into all of these a little bit differently in detail, but for now it's going to be the central hub for trade and commerce between the different regions. There's also a standing council that represents all of the different regions. It's kind of the peacekeepers, and it's like almost like the UN of Tehr'Ental. Everyone tries to negotiate and keep, for the most part, peace between regions. There's always some smaller conflicts, but for the recent time being, they've been able to maintain a relative order of peace between the regions. And this central hub is going to be basically a paradise. It has a little bit of everything. It's like a tropical, luscious landscapes. It's got nice rolling hills and mountains. It's got lakes. It's just kind of a conglomeration of all the different zones. It's almost like a utopia, perfect place to live kind of thing. And also, since it's in the center hub, it makes sense for most people to travel through it while they're going to different regions, just because most of the roads go through it. It makes travel and commerce a lot easier to travel through. That pretty much covers the essentials of Tehr'Ental, the world that I've built in our campaign. I wanted to leave a little bit of intrigue and mystery for some of these bigger cities than each region and even the central hub. I'm going to go into those a little bit more detail about their foundings and where they came from. I also want to go into world lore, how the world was even created in the first place, what's happened that history knows of, at least, up until current day, some huge major conflicts and events that shaped the world as we know it. But yeah, and also some of the secrets and reasons why Tehr'Ental is impacted so much and so heavily by the elemental planes. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know all of our new videos come out. I would love to hear about some of your campaign settings and what you've done in your campaign. Let me know in the comments down below. As always guys, thanks for watching.